Criminals now extorting money by using anything from celebrity deepfakes to pretending to be a family member. So how do you protect yourself from those scams? And let's bring in Vinny Troia. He is the CEO of Shadow Nexus to talk a little bit more about that. So Vinny, as AI becomes more a part of our daily lives, like it gets very apparent that all of this is a double-edged sword. How are you starting to see it being used in scams that you might not have seen coming?
Well, so I think the first thing to realize is whenever there's new technology, there's always going to be resistance to it. I mean, we saw the same thing when, the internet first happened. People had to go into this thing called Prodigy or AOL. And now, I think when you look at the majority of younger people who are even running basic searches on the internet, most people are just going to ChatGPT or to Claude to even run their basic searches. I mean, they're not necessarily even going to Google anymore. And that shift is really important because it's also the answer to the problem that we're seeing, where we're seeing all these scams, but going to systems like OpenAI or Claude can actually provide a very easy solution for people.
Wait, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to follow here. Yeah, just using, so you're saying instead of going into the dangerous pitfall of the internet, just using the interfaces of these AI companies, like the Geminis and the OpenAI, the ChatGPT?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And so I'll give you a perfect example. One of my friends called me the other day. She had been hacked from her Facebook account. She had no idea what to do. They were trying to scam her out of her Facebook account. And so I said, well, did you try typing your question into Claude? And Claude literally gave her the exact website support address to go to, exactly what to say, so that they would go back and roll back and restore her account. So it provided her step-by-step instructions on how to do it. And that is the solution in many of these cases, yeah.
Wow, yeah, it's almost like typing in the www dot, whatever it would be, .ed or .gov in the past, where you're like, I know that this is definitely the website. You're saying use the AI chatbots. Very interesting. Who's fallen for some of these scams?
Two of the biggest scams that we're seeing, obviously, are the phishing scams that they've been around forever, right? You get all these emails that appear to come from PayPal.com. And when you take a closer look, the website address is actually, paypal.com.whatever. If you're unsure, the first thing I always tell people, if you're unsure about an email, you can just copy and paste the whole email and put it into ChatGPT or Claude, and it'll tell you right away whether or not it thinks it's fake. So that should be an immediate spot check if you're not sure.
Interesting. So many of these scams, they target the very elderly. What is your advice to someone who has been very technologically averse, really has no baked-in immunity to any of how this stuff can be used, and is also like, AI, I don't even know what a ChatGPT is. Like, do you teach them these interfaces just so they can ask this, hey, I'm getting scammed here?
Yeah, and I will say one other thing, something for everybody to be aware of. With the rapid growth of AI, you could go on anyone's social media page, their Instagram, whatever, and take a video of them, and with just 5 seconds of audio, you could really synthesize their voice. And so a lot of elderly people are getting scammed right now, and they're receiving phone calls from their loved ones asking for money, asking them to send money overseas. And the best advice I can give everyone is to just set a safe word with your family. Have a word where if there's an emergency or they call you, you give them the word and they know it's legitimate. And that's going to be the best way that you can protect yourself from that.
Yeah, I think these days you can never ask, am I getting scammed enough? Vinny Troia, thank you so much for joining us.